The greatest basketball player of all time is taking his talents to the sports gambling world. Michael Jordan is taking an equity stake in DraftKings in exchange for becoming a special advisor to the company. The shares were up as much as 21% this morning. They're up about 8% right now. DraftKings has gone from a less than $1 billion market cap company when it became public in April through a SPAC to a more than almost $14 billion company today, Robert.
Yeah, setting aside basketball, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time at wealth creation from sports. There is no one else even close. So just today,
Shaq,
he added $800 million to the market cap of DraftKings. $800 million just by adding his name to the DraftKings board. Setting aside that this is a guy who can sell his old sneakers for $600,000, he's worth somewhere between 1.5 and 2 billion. There is no one even close to Michael Jordan when it comes to creating wealth and value.
Even Shaq, Robert?
How about Tiger Woods?
Not yet. Not yet. But look at Michael. You add in the sneakers, his ownership of a team. I mean, Jordan has taken it to a level that no one else is close.
The other thing, Contessa, that is interesting to me about this is it shows how mainstream gambling has gone. I mean, this used to be something that was whispered about, and now it's, like the leading news story in the business world.
The owner of a professional sports team is going to be on the board of a gambling company.
Yeah.
I mean, the kind of intertwining of these businesses is unbelievable. And I'm wondering whether DraftKings just said, are you kidding me? I get to be in a board meeting with Michael Jordan? Bring him on. How much of the company do we have to get him at the board meeting? How cool is that? But there is some pushback from the analysts. Look, you've got DraftKings, as you were mentioning the valuation here. DraftKings is now, in terms of market cap, bigger than MGM Resorts, bigger than Wynn Resorts. So you have to question how much room is there to run, especially when they're not making the money yet. And is Michael Jordan going to be the Midas touch that turns that tide?
And I think you make an interesting point. We have to move on. But this is the owner of a team who's now on the board of a sports gambling company. Let's just sit with that for a while. In the meantime, we'll say goodbye to airline miles and hotel points and say hello to delivery and takeout, because a new piece in the Wall Street Journal today looks at credit cards as they scramble to update their customer benefits to more pandemic-friendly offerings. Remember, business travel's at a standstill. One executive said she saw cardholders cashing in their points, Dom, for hair dryers and golf balls.
Changing paradigms, right? And
remember, you think?
I remember how many times we've done stories, and our friends over at CNBC Select and everyone else who kind of evaluates these credit cards used to look at them from different perspectives. If you were an avid traveler, a business traveler, or a leisure traveler, a certain specific type of card was more geared towards you because it was better with regard to dining miles or airline miles or the way that you can redeem points for vacations and things like that. Well, now that no one's taking them, you have to adjust these things. And with cards, what I'm finding curious is that this particular pandemic will then converge many of the benefits for these cards together because you cannot offer some of the outsized benefits for travel. I'm curious about whether the commoditization of credit cards and point redemption is going to go this way, because you can pretty much get a hairdryer or a gift anywhere in any card. Maybe that Chase Sapphire Reserve doesn't do as much for you as it used to because you can't travel.
Robert, quick last word on this one, but what do you think the new kind of like perk can and should be?
Well, look, I like the American Express Business Platinum Card is offering free subscription to the meditation app Calm, which I think we could all use right now. So I think that's a good idea.
That is definitely a sign of the times. All right, finally, and before we go, that's the sound people want to hear when they're in Vegas playing the slots. But the national coin shortage has a lot of casinos pinching pennies during the pandemic. Contessa, there's a really bad coin shortage in Vegas, isn't there? But this only affects some of the smaller casinos, is that right?
Well, you would think, because the coin slot machines have gone the way of, say, a coin parking meter. You know, now when you go out and you park, you can find these parking meters that also you can pay with an app. And it leaves you, if you only have pennies, just fine, I'll just pay with my phone. In Las Vegas, they are still having a problem with coin shortages because when you go to cash in your ticket, you don't usually get it rounded to the dollar. You have some change left. And the casinos are coming up with innovative ways to find enough cash, coins, to pay back their players. So, for instance, Boyd told us they have redemption machines where people can bring in their piggy banks and dump in their coins and get paid for that. Churchill Downs says they're having trouble finding enough coins to pay out those tickets. But El Cortez, one of the oldest continuously running casinos in Las Vegas, used to be owned by Bugsy Siegel, says there's a real problem. When they reopened, they ordered $30,000 in coins from Brinks. You know how much they got? $500.
Wow.
They have more than 100 coin slots still in use, and it's a big draw for this company. People who want to hear that change dumping into the tray go to the El Cortez because they have it, and here they're having to take away the fee on those change machines, the coin redemption machines.
Dom, let's just make sure everybody caught that.
Hurting.
We have casinos asking people to bring in their piggy banks to raise. So mom and dad are going to your piggy bank to empty it out to go play the slots.
This is going to breed some innovation. Here's what I would say. If you're a casino owner out there and you've got a robust food and beverage operation, here's what I'd say. Develop a scheme, some kind of a system where people can kind of round up their change into vouchers for food and beverage. That way you never have to pay out any of that cash. All you have to pay out is whole dollar amounts, and the more you build up into that, this is going to drive a lot of activity towards these reward cards that all these casinos have, because then you can bank some of those credits and just use them for that free buffet. I'm a buffet guy, so I would take my spare change and get a buffet out of that.
I don't know. It's post-pandemic, Dom. You may want to think twice about that. Thank you, everybody, very much today for your time. Dominic Chu, Contessa Brewer, and Robert Frank.